Hey guys, good morning. How are you? Alright guys, so I'm going to work on the camper a little bit today. Just kind of get things situated. I want to figure out the whole electrical situation as far as how I can run everything on 12 volt and have AC power from solar. So I'm just going to kind of peek around at things. I brought my new vacuum down so I could clean it up a little bit. There's a little bit of, just get it shiny for our first adventure. I've just been collecting things, like things that have been laying around for camping, for our, just things like that. We sold the pop-up about a week ago. Got most of our money back out of that after using it for a few years, so that's good. But I've just been collecting things. Got hot dog sticks and an axe and an extra battery and a solar panel and a cook stove and just fire pit cook stove. Just kind of collected things. I got a tote full of stuff from the pop-up, dishes and bowls and extra paper towel, just miscellaneous stuff. Jen and I are making our weekly run to town, so I am going to try to find some good adhesive, or not adhesive, caulking to fix this up. Get some. I guess I've been doing a little research. Plastic razor blades are good for cleaning up caulk. Maybe some acetone, I think, or mineral spirits or paint thinner. I don't remember which one. I took pictures on my phone of what people suggested. So, but yeah, I'm gonna get my propane tanks in here. List goes on and on. One thing that's been going through my head the last week or so, or 2 weeks since we've had this, is how I'm going to set up my solar. Initially, I was going to put some solar in here, put a power station in here, a Blue Eddy power station in here, and there's a generator line, so it would be real easy to hook up to the generator line. The only problem with that is that I can only fit one my one Apex 300 in there, and I want to be able to expand it. So I'm not sure if that's the way we're going to go, or if I'm going to make this nice outdoor storage. Every time you're camping, it's nice to have a little bit of outdoor storage. You need to throw dirty stuff in somewhere so you don't have to take it in the camper. I'm learning real quick of trying to figure things out that, this takes up the whole truck bed. So that eliminates everything. You got to be kind of fine-tuned when you're in a space like this and have limited compartments and limited space elsewhere. You need to be efficient. And, Jen and I are pretty efficient to some degree, but we also don't like to not have something we need, so we do normally take a little bit of extra stuff. So anyway, let's get this camper fixed up a little bit. Let's work out the kinks. One good thing is everything that's in here right now will be on the truck to hold it to the truck. Or I'm going to get some different mounts for my truck. These are free, so I like that. I like free. They're included. But they're not ideal for the situation. But they're going to stay in here for now. Got my boy's axe. Nothing fancy, but effective. There we go. AC power to the camper. All right, guys, in case you haven't figured it out yet, today's video is sponsored by Blue Eddy. We've been working with Blue Eddy for years and years, almost 5 years now. We couldn't have done 80% of what we did here at the property without a portable power station. And Blue Eddy's been here along the way to help us get everything done. We've used the Apex 300 while we built the mini cabin, and we used it for backup power in the bunker to run the cabin when needed. And it's handled every load we've thrown at it. Because it has a 3,840 watt pure sine wave inverter, it can run any load in our cabin just fine. Blue Eddy designed this system to start simple and scale smart. We can use just the unit alone with 2,764 watt hours, or now we have the new B500K. Previously, they had the B300K. This B500K is the best bang for your buck. Priced only slightly higher than a B300K, but yet it replaces 2 of them. You could put up to 6 B500Ks on this unit alone. Or if you want to scale up even higher, you can get 3 Apex 300s and scale up to 100,000 watt hours of storage capacity. And get this, guys, you can run 240 volts with the Apex 300 as well with a simple flip of a switch. And while you're using that 240 volts, you can still use your 120 volt devices as well. No limitations. That's what the Apex 300 does for us. We can hybrid charge it with AC power and solar at the same time. We can run it on our TT30 outlet, which most campers have. Or if you really got a big boy camper, here's your 50 amp outlet as well. And this will run 120 volt or 240 volt at a 50 amp max. Need to charge your electric vehicle? Check this out. The Apex 300 can do that as well. Another great part of the Apex 300 and B500Ks are that they're future-proof. They're using the same outlet they've used for years, and they're compatible with a lot of their other Blue Eddy devices, like the AC200L, the AC300, and the AC500. So we don't have to worry about our systems becoming obsolete. So we're going to pair the Hub D1 up to the B500K here in the camper. We can use that with up to 700 watts of power. It has an Anderson 50 port on it. It has multiple USB-Cs, USB-As, and a cigarette port as well for our older devices. I got a Charger 1 here from Blue Eddy. We're going to hook that up in the truck so we can charge this while driving. That's going to be awesome. I've been holding on to that for about a year till we got this perfect setup, and this is it. Blue Eddy has a Charger 2 that's coming out, so we can charge it with even more power and hook up some solar to everything. Look for that Charger 2 if you're going to pick up an Apex 300 for yourself. And another reason I chose the Apex 300 over other units is because Blue Eddy products have figured out how to have low idle consumption. The Apex 300 draws about 13 watts in standby mode, and I think about 20 with the AC power on. Other competitors are about 2.5 times less efficient. That means this device can sit here and run for multiple days, probably up to a week, just sitting in idle mode. So I'm going to get this guy in the camper after I get it cleaned up a little bit, and we're gonna try to find a permanent spot for it. Thanks, guys, for letting me tell you about the Blue Eddy Apex 300 and the B500K. Check out the links in the description box below. In the first pinned comment, you'll get a great deal on one for yourself. And thank you, Blue Eddy, for sponsoring this video and supporting our channel. So, guys, we're drawing 352 watts in the camper. I'm gonna go see what's drawing that power right now. All right, guys, so every light in the camper is on. I'm going to turn those off and see if this drops, or maybe the converter in here is just an older converter and drawing that much power. So this is all good stuff to know. If we could run this camper on DC power, we will. We'll find a way to do that so we can draw a little less power. There we go. AC power available at our fingertips. All right, guys, optional heat. I wonder if that'll work. All right, guys, I turned the air conditioning on. Only problem is it's like 42 out, so I don't know if it'll actually kick on. 408 watts, that's just from the fan running and the lights. So let's see what happens, I'm gonna turn this off because it's too cold out. I want to see how much power we're drawing with nothing on. So we got no output when the lights are off. So that's good. If we turn one light on. Alright, so those lights are basically just independently run. The converter is not drawing power independently. 50 watts for that one light. 100 watts for those two light bulbs. Those two light bulbs, 100 watts. Let's go turn on two more and see if it's 100 watts each. That's a lot of power for a couple little light bulbs. Like I said, we're gonna have to switch those to LEDs. As much as I don't want to. I don't know if you could just replace the bulbs or if you have to replace the whole head. Yeah, 168 watts. 168 watts for two light bulbs. That's more than our normal house light bulb. That is crazy. So that's good though. That means that it's not our converter that's drawing a bunch of power. 218 watts for three light bulbs. That's insane. That's pretty crazy. Let's turn on a fan and see what it does. Let's turn everything off. See how much the air, like I said, the air conditioning is not going to work right now because it's too cold. $322 watts for high fan. I would really like to figure out if I can get this refrigerator running on AC, or even better, let's see how much this fan is, or even better, DC. All right, well, that doesn't work. Sucks. Exterior lights. Let's turn on all the exterior lights. All the lights are off. All the exterior lights are 106 watts. Let's try to get an idea of what it's going to take to get this bad boy running all the time. It's going to take some LED light bulbs. What it's going to take. I don't think you can. I think you could replace the little landscape lights, but I don't think you can replace these big light bulbs. Can you replace these light bulbs with LEDs? Or you need to do the whole... I have to take this whole thing off and replace it. Let me know. I put LED light bulbs in our pop-up, but they were different. They were like the little landscape light, low voltage ones, not these ones that screw in. So anyway, so there's a death storm coming over the horizon over here. Doesn't look that bad down here, but it looks bad up at camp, or at the cabin. I just ran up there to check on Jenny. And yeah, so I'm going to get up there and get things cleaned up before that hits, hopefully. And get my mule put away, because it's got all my tools in it. I don't want everything to get drenched. Yeah, guys, so we've been working on the greenhouse a lot, so I haven't had a lot of time to work on the camper, even though I want to, but the greenhouse is getting close to getting finished, other than we have to put some kind of irrigation drip system in, so we don't have to hand water everything every single day or every other day. So we'll be working on that soon. I'm going to be working on this, just probably going to start working on this at evenings, like after dinner. As the rain comes, we're kind of realizing that, you know, plants in a greenhouse don't get water when it rains. So we need to set up some kind of drip irrigation system or watering system for our greenhouse. I'm going away for Guy's fishing trip for 3 or 4 days, and she's going to go see family for 3 or 4 days, so we need to make sure that our plants stay happy and watered. Actually, the way this is set up is really nice, because we have our collection tank right here off of the array, and this thing fills up really quick with just a little bit of rain. I'd like to have a second one there, but right now this is what we got. So it works really nice, because we just dragged the hose in here the other day, and we could just gravity feed. We can just gravity feed everything in here with the hose. Anyway, we have to figure out a way to water into all these. We got to water these as well. These are the ones that are going to dry out fast, because these are little tiny tubs. They're plenty wet right now because we watered them yesterday, and it's been rainy all day today. We just got a lot of plants here. We got a couple $100 worth of plants, and our survival depends upon keeping all this stuff alive. So it has not been warm enough for anything to sprout yet, because it's only been a few days, and it's been high of 45 and low of 30 at night. Nonetheless, we have to keep rolling here and keep all this stuff alive. Luckily, it stays a little bit warmer in here. So I'm going to run this hose into the greenhouse. Over here, and we're going to set up a little pump house here. And I mentioned in another video, guys, at the end of a video, I think we're going to take this wood stove out of here, because I can't realistically keep a fire going in here for a month or two extra. So we're going to have to just heat this with propane like commercial greenhouses do. And we might even just use this torpedo heater, salamander heater, that runs on propane, because it has a fan too, and it can just blow out here. And it's thermostat controlled. We did that in a sponsorship video like a year ago. That thing saved my butt a few times, thawing stuff out underneath the cabin. But we're going to probably just pull this out of here. I hate to do that. I hate to not be as self-reliant as possible. I know there's different levels of off-grid and self-reliance, yada, yada, yada. But you know, and I don't like to be reliant on propane, but we might just have to be, because that's the only way I can maintain a temperature in here above freezing for a greenhouse. I'm not going to be able to keep a wood fire going in this thing here, you know, for a month or two in the spring and a month or two in the fall. It's just unrealistic. So anyway, let me get some stuff laid out here. Let's try to get some drip irrigation set up. So we just bought a fix kit with a bunch of random little stuff for 12 bucks. a bunch of 1 gallon per hour and half gallon per hour drippers that go on 1/4 inch lines. We priced everything out by the time we built these little doohickeys. These are like a stake that goes in the ground, and then it has a 1/4 or a half moon-shaped spray, and then these clip right onto a 5/8 line. So by the time we built these, it was the same price. So these are pre-assembled, so that's good. And these just, we just bought a ton of stuff. Check it out. I'm gonna dump it out here if it can do it without making a mess. Guys, plumbing projects is like really the most challenging thing in the world when you're doing off-grid stuff, because you know, you think you have everything you need. You need so much stuff, and then you just don't have one little thing. Every time we do a plumbing project, I don't dread it. It's just so time consuming because you gotta think you got everything, and then all of a sudden you don't. So we'll see what we don't have here. We already found one thing we don't have. We forgot to buy our little digital timer that you like put on the end of a hose, and you set a couple time frames to open up. You could use those in the city because you have hose pressure from the city or from your well pump. But we're gonna, use this pressure regulated RV pump. That's going to kick on when that valve opens itself. So that's what we forgot already. One thing. If I could get this all set up, minus that one piece, I would be happy. But I told Jen, I gotta try to get this put together, so when we go back to town, or she runs to town real quick, we don't have something else we need. Because that's what happens a lot. You'll go like, oh, Jen will be like, oh, I'll run to town and grab it. And then she comes back, and then we need something else. So that's the biggest struggle with any project, is just having all the parts. There was a couple different companies, Rain Drip and Rain Bird. The Rain Bird stuff had better reviews, but they didn't have everything in the Rain Bird. So basically, these all just puncture that 5/8 line. So here's an adapter to go from my garden hose to my pump. We have like 3 of these pumps. I should put a sediment filter on there, because otherwise this will get clogged up. Let me go look for one of those. Little sediment filter goes on the inlet, so stuff can't get sucked out of that tank, because that tank is not going to be perfectly clean. So put that on the suction side. Grab the Teflon as well, and her put another little coat on here. So guys, I'm pretty familiar with plumbing stuff, just because I did the hot tub thing for 20 years. But plumbing is just a lot of intricate parts. And plumbers should be very much appreciated, because they carry around some stuff. And they got some skills. So there we go, a little strainer or sediment catch. This brass fitting going to go on that and hook right to our hose. This should be pretty simple, but that's how every story goes or starts. There we go. Hose bib to 1/2 inch pipe thread into our pump. Now coming out of this, we're going to use a coupler. Double female threaded coupler, because I have these 1/2 inch with a 5/8 barb on it. It says 1/2 inch, but that hose says 5/8. They didn't have any half-inch pipe anywhere. So I don't know how irrigation pipe works. That's the most frustrating part, is going from PEX to irrigation line to national pipe thread. Like the irrigation, everything's a little different. Like you'll notice that with iron pipe too. Like everything looks like a different size. Go. So this is going to go on here like so, after I put a little bit new There we go. Hose in, 5/8 inch line out. Hook this to a battery, which I have a cheapy battery over here. Here's the challenging part, is neither one of these are swivel. So let's back twist this a little bit. So get us started at least. There we go. Battery, fuse pulled. Pump, I'm gonna screw this down, I gotta get some screws. This will go right over here to our 5/8 line. Hopefully this pushes right on. See, this says 5/8 poly drip water hose, but all this stuff says 1/2 inch. Like that even says 1/2 inch, that barb. So I don't know if this will work right.
Need?
I might need clamps.
Partner?
We might need clamps. I just pushed this on and it does hit the bar, but I don't know if that'll stay on.
Some clamps?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't want to pull off, but better to have a clamp on it. Maybe we should run some kind of watering system off the gutters as well. Like when we get gutters installed on this side, we could drive a little line in to water all these and just drip from the natural rainwater rather than pumping it from... What's that look for?
Plants are going to freeze in the greenhouse.
It is cold in here. It's like, what is it?
It's 37 out. It's not funny, it's not cute, it's downright depressing and awful.
Jenny's just a bundle of joy the last couple weeks. She's literally been cold and complaining about it for the last month. Or 3 months. Or 6 months, actually. So, I guess we're going to move to Florida. So, anyway, let's get this laid out. Let's figure out how we do this. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, so we don't go and get one thing and then we need 4 things. So.
It's the way we like to operate.
Alright, you're letting all my warm air out from all the talking I'm doing.
From the hot air, you mean?
Yeah. I gotta fix this door handle too. This little thing keeps getting jammed in here. primarily Jenny's fault. Move on to the next thing. All this is done. Bought this little $6 puncher. Punches a hole in the line. Although these said you don't need it, you just, they like self-puncture, but I don't trust that. You can try it. So these are a half moon, and some of them are red. That's a full moon, yeah. Or a full circle. Keep calling it a moon for some reason. It's only got one red one. It's just accidentally got one that was red. So the most important part is just keeping all this alive, obviously. I always think that we're gonna water stuff by hand, because I really do enjoy watering stuff by hand. It's relaxing and therapeutic. But the truth of the matter is that you like want to go do stuff. Like if we want to go on some adventures, we got to be able to leave for more than 2 days and still have stuff watered. Because if it's hot in here, it's gonna need to be watered every day. So you need all these automated systems. So let's, the biggest challenge is going to be getting all this stuff that's up in these trays. These long, drawn-out shelves that we built. Looks cool. Cool in theory. So now we're going to water it all. If it was one big gutter, like I originally was thinking about putting gutter in here and planting stuff, but then you can't move stuff around. And you can't transplant stuff, because that's the whole point of these was for seedlings. So, but I was thinking of a gutter, because then you can just water part of the gutter and it kind of drips down through the whole gutter. Anyway, let's put these baskets in a way that I can water them. You want to go back to Florida?
And we're gonna Scout. You and me are gonna.
Mom and Scout, Jenny and Scout are moving to Florida. They give up. I guess I'm just gonna have to find me a new off-grid lady. But Scout's my dog, so I'm keeping him. Sorry, Scout.
He wants to come with me. He wants to lay in the sunshine and be warm.
You know what I'm gonna need? I'll go grab him while you do dirt. Okay. I gotta go get some clamps so I can clamp this hose up out of the way. There we go. One strap. I got one little clamp. That's good enough for that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Already kinked. Already got a kink. That's not good. Oh no. Alright guys, so this line, or this hose, is very chintzy. I guess I just never worked with this stuff. I'm kind of familiar and seen like real irrigation line, you know, for sprinklers for houses and stuff, and that stuff's thick and hard to puncture. This stuff is like super cheap and crappy, and it kinks pretty easy, so that sucks. So I guess maybe, unless I got the wrong stuff, but this was right here with all the stuff for drip irrigation. But anyway, let's get something in, I guess. It's kinking. Everywhere you try to go around anything, it kinks. Right here, it's kinking.
Isn't that good?
So I don't know if once it has water in it, if it'll feed through there good or what.
The only way we can find out is try, right?
I mean, I could put that cap on it right now and fill it up with water. You want to try that?
What cap?
There's a end cap, so it doesn't just come out the other end like a hose. I don't know how this works. Like, I don't know. I assumed it went like this, but maybe it doesn't. Alright, so right now let's turn the water on and see if it pressurizes that line. I gotta open the hose over here. I don't think it's open at the tank, right?
I don't think so.
We'll figure out the suction line, you know, like bury a line. At some point. But let's turn this on. Alright, water's turned on at the tank. Let's turn this on. Oh, there we go. Water filled that up already. Let's put the fuse back in and see if stuff starts squirting everywhere.
You can hear it. This is getting water in it.
Hissing? I
No.
don't hear any hissing, so... Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's not good. Hopefully it doesn't pop off of here. Like, I don't know how this is supposed to... Like, how... Like, I feel like this is gonna, like, literally explode. That pump stop running?
Yeah. So it won't explode, right? Because if the pump stops running.
Yeah, but if this pops off while we're not here, because I don't know how this goes, which I don't think it will, but I don't know.
So the pump just reached its pressure and that's why it stopped.
Just like the cabin, like it
Okay.
doesn't run all the time. So this is pressurized. There's a lot of pressure in there. Holy crap.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, so now, like I said, all we need is that timer to go between the pump and all of this.
And
so
then
the
off
pressure will build up to the timer, just like a garden hose in the city or on a well pump. So then, when the timer opens, we'll just spray everything. Like if we just put one right here, turn this around. As soon as I puncture this line, it's going to start spraying out of there because it's all pressurized. So I might as well put it down here because there's nothing down. You're like, look, that line's only barely long enough. Should have measured that first, but here we go. All right. It's not supposed to be spraying out there. It's supposed to be spraying out. Not there. So, first thing's already broke.
That's not supposed to happen. It's supposed to come out of here.
Yeah.
Maybe it was closed, so maybe that's...
Well, it still shouldn't.
There you go, guys.
It still shouldn't leak out of that.
It's working.
I don't know why it's leaking out of that.
Maybe.
Pre-assembled half circle fan sprayer. So, like, I don't know if this... Like, I thought maybe this came out. There's, like, no gasket or nothing. It's just straight. So, like, there's that one. Let's put this one on. And just... Alright, I'm going to put the fuse back in.
Okay, that's spraying. It's still dripping there, but...
Yeah, that one's dripping too, I mean... Like, I don't need it to go out that far, but I don't want it to not...
No, it's okay, because if it does go out that far, we can put these all on the ground.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Put those on the ground and then it'll water everything at once. I mean, that one is, like, bad spraying. But I don't know. You gotta take that one apart and see what's going on with it, because it shouldn't be dripping that much out of that. Like that one's barely dripping.
Yeah.
And I can deal with a drip or two, but a constant gusher is not good. Like, that's the problem. Like, I don't know if the hole's too big because we did it while it was pressurized, you know?
Yeah.
Freaking wrenched.
I know.
That sucks. Like, how am I supposed to fix that?
Can you put like silicone over it and then re-pierce it?
You can get a bunch of barbs and put a patch in it, you know, like cut it and put a barb coupler in. Let's just make sure that the rest of them aren't pressurized and see if they. It's not the end of the world right now.
Pretty good job there, sir.
I mean, you got to look at a bunch of stuff, but that's part of the game.
I mean, every
If it was
greenhouse.
going to shrubs, like you could just do them straight down, but I don't know. Like I haven't done any research to see like what the most efficient way to water stuff is, other than people use soaker hoses.
Yeah.
But you can't use soaker. Maybe we could use a soaker hose along here. You know, and just put a little. They have that little soaker, little 1/4-inch soaker hose that we saw. So maybe we could just drape it all the way across the top. I don't know. So there you go, 4 to do that.
And that would cover those. All you could put all of these on the ground too.
All of these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It won't be forever. This will just be
Yeah,
for
this
this
is just
weekend.
Till we get a permanent setup. The only thing is those pumps are not made to run full time.
Right.
Like 5-10 minutes is fine because it's like the shower.
Yeah.
But it's not meant to run an hour. So, but I don't think it'd have to run with that much water. I don't think it'd have to run more than 5 minutes.
Yeah. Here's a little puppy. Where's your dad? Where's your dad? Where's he at? Where's he at?
Buddy.
What you got there?
All the stuff we forgot yesterday. And 4 new tires.
Your trucks are being very expensive.
That's what I told the guy at the thing. I'm like, I'm not having a good vehicle month or week.
You are not allowed to drive anymore.
Well, hopefully this just means that I'm good to go for a while.
You better knock on some wood right now. Whenever you say stupid stuff like that, you jinx yourself.
I'm driving a 17-year-old truck right now, so all around the state for the last week, so something's bound to happen and break. Alright, Scout. Yeah,
So we can do this pump and then...
You get the batteries I texted you about?
Mm-hmm.
Pump should all work fine. I just need to... I bought this soaker hose thing too. So there's the directions. You need to figure that out while I'm doing this. Guys, yes, I smell like chicken. Next year we'll just do seedlings down low because... So we popped in this soaker hose and it's going all the way down the line. Let's see if it drips here as much as it drips here. I think that's the only pitfall of this. But this time, did you figure this out? It's all set?
Yeah, it's all
Can you
set.
do manual? Could you just do it manually once?
Yep, we can go.
Just push the water button.
For immediate watering, turn the dial to on, and then switch it to off. So this is all.
We gotta turn the water on. You gotta put the fuse in and open that valve.
This one?
Yep.
Where's the fuse?
Right there on top of the battery. But you gotta open the valve first. Alright.
And then
It's gonna spark a tiny bit, but just make sure it goes in solid, like pushing in. Alright. Oh, look at that. Look at all the water coming out of that. Holy cannoli. 15 minutes of that and the tank will be empty. Look at that. Of course, that's leaking like it should. That's the only thing I didn't
I'll
get.
put a plant right there.
Yeah. As long as it stays in there. So, there you go.
I'll put a plant there.
Look at that. It's actually working. Kind of.
Is it like...
Look at this. Water squirting everywhere. Water squirting everywhere. And they're kind of like going in the right spot, too. Look at that. Look at that. Look at all that water coming through that soaker hose. Perfect. Brilliant.
He was just crying about it, guys. He's going to edit that part out.
Yeah, I will. We've been doing a lot of crying and whining lately.
Oh.
So
Just look for where the water's hitting and put flats in that spot. Right? Maybe I should do it every 3 days if it's...
yeah, it don't need to be this wet. Don't need it hooked up tonight, right?
Yeah. All right, guys. Jay got this system working good. That way, if we want to go on a camping adventure in Jay's new camper, or we need to go away for a couple days, the plants don't have to fry and die.
Yeah. It's supposed to be warm this weekend. I'm going fishing with my brothers. And you're going to go hang out with some friends for a couple days, right? So, just can't have everything so fragile, right?
Yes.
Everything take care of itself.
It
a
needs
little
water, so we've got a way to do it.
This will be a little bit, get better and better,
The
right?
tank is very full because it's rained for 2 days straight, so
Full to the top.
we've got plenty of water to use. This is going to go off 15 minutes every other day. So it's really only going to go off like 1 day while we're gone, but we can't leave stuff unattended because otherwise we'll all die and then we'll
It's
cry.
supposed to be 80 this weekend.
Yeah, finally 80.
First warm. All right, guys. So, pretty cool. Timber, stay away from the flats.
You like the way they smell?
But anyway, cool, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for putting up with our whiny butts. We're going to get... I'm really excited this greenhouse is turning out.
I'm excited that the weather's supposed to be nice for finally. It's very hard, guys. I didn't think I was so dependent on the weather being nice, but we've had...
It's been 6 months, so
Yeah.
it's over, hopefully. So, thanks, guys, for hanging out with us. We appreciate you. And we'll see you in the next video.
one. All right, bye.